Let me say this openly. I am a St. Joseph's fan. You know that because I went to pretty much every game you played at Hawk Hill.
Yep.
From 82 onward, I've been to every home game except maybe 1 or 2 a year, and I've known every kid that's put that uniform on. So I'm a St. Joe's guy. I'm a St. Joe's guy, and sometimes they don't want to allow me in no more, because but I'm a St. Joe's guy. And I'm telling you, Grandma said, go get this.
Welcome to Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, where 5 major Division I college basketball teams play a round-robin regular season tournament, all within about a 10-mile radius. This is the Big Five. This is St. Joseph's and Temple. They played this game 161 previous times, but they've never played it with 2 new men on the bench in the head coaching seats we'll get into tonight. Billy Lang for St. Joe's, Aaron McKee for Temple, 2 brand new head coaches in their first St. Joe's Temple game. On the run out, the first field goal of the game is a slam by Jake Forrester.
And Billy Lang wants more. You'd like to see him shoot 40, and right now it is going to the paint every single possession for Temple.
Here is Quentin Rose. This is a 4-on none. That will work out. Boy, Josh Pierre-Louis can get up, can he? And another paint touch. Forrester, high flying. Division I basketball, Temple University. Mormon hits a 3. The players were there. Mormon the stuff on Knox. Up ahead more. Forward 3. And back to Daly, who is dispossessed. One of the steals leaders in the conference, Rose. Up to Forrester. Pierre-Louis, one of the great defenders in the American.
That's why. Great scouting report.
Mormon. Oh, my. Rose. High flyer, Quentin Rose. What is new and what is refreshing about it in your view? Hold the thought. Here comes another dunk. Oh, Pierre-Louis. Right hand finish. Raise the roof.
As we go take a look at another dunk here.
Oh, boy. Quentin Rose. It is a Temple runaway. 108-61, the largest margin of victory for the Owls in the history of this rivalry.
I'm Del Greco Wilson alongside my fellow man, Eric Woods. As always, we normally start off by giving people what they need, and then we try to give them what they want, and we have a great show today, but we got to take a detour. It was 2 great college basketball games last night. I went to Penn State, and I saw Penn State knock off Maryland, and before the game, you can check my Facebook, I put it out there that I was picking Penn State to win that game because I just know how much it means to that program, to that team. You know, Mike is a senior. Lamar is a senior. The guys at Maryland are younger. It's just not that big a deal for those guys. So congratulations to Keith Ergo, Pat Chambers, Mike Watkins, Izzy B, Lamar Stevens, Seth Lundy, John Harrar. It's a bunch of Philly
guys up there.
And then, while I was there, I was getting all these texts. I was getting all these direct messages. I was getting, people was just tapping me on the shoulder. They was like, yo, man, it's a crime going on. They said it's a murder going on. That's what I was getting, man, on my phone. Talk to me, E. What's good? What's happening with the Hawks, man?
Dale, last night is more about what's good with Temple. Temple's looking good, Dale. They took us behind the woodshed last night down on Broad Street. But I think it's more about what Temple is doing right. Aaron has them boys playing hard. They're guarding. They out-rebounded St. Joe's by like 25.
Yeah, 51-25.
That's big. And then they held St. Joe's to like 30% shooting.
Yes, they
And
did.
then they shot 62%.
I think they had 85 points with 11 minutes left in the game.
That's a beating. Hats off to Aaron McKee and his staff. He has them guys playing real well.
That's go get your own switch. Don't come back with no little switch or I'm going to go get the switch beaten.
That's that grandma beating.
Well, I do think, we have to give this a lot of time to play out. We have to see what St. Joe's has planned.
Definitely.
But they're both first-year coaches. Mm-hmm. And I think it is fair to compare and contrast the transition to the first-year coaches for both programs.
Right.
Temple embraced everything that Temple represents. They embraced the Owl heritage, the Owl tradition. They hired an Owl. He went out, he hired Jason Ivey. He got Mark Macon. He kept Chris Clark. They went and hired Finnerty's son. Well, these are Philadelphia lifers. This is who we are. This is what we do.
Right.
St. Joe's, on the other hand, after 100+ years of only hiring Hawks to be the head coach at St. Joe's, Phil Martelli was the first St. Joe's head coach that didn't play and was a captain, I think, at St. Joseph's. He was the only one. So I kind of thought that they would embrace their tradition because the Hawks have a fine tradition. Let me say this openly. I am a St. Joseph's fan. You know that because I went to pretty much every game you played at Hawk Hill.
Yep.
From 82 onward, I've been to every home game except maybe one or two a year, and I've known every kid that's put that uniform on. So I'm a St. Joe's guy. I'm a St. Joe's guy, and sometimes they don't want to allow me in no more, but I'm a St. Joe's guy. And I'm telling you, Grandma said, go get this.
Dale, so St. Joe started the season, or after Martelli was let go. Mm-hmm. We lost a lot of kids, I'm saying.
But that goes to the transition.
Right.
If you embrace what you are, who you are, this little school that competes with the big boys.
Right.
This is who St. Joe's is.
Listen.
We don't have no big fancy gym.
So listen.
We don't fly on private planes. We got 6, 7 dudes that could really play. We're going to meet you at the gym, and we're going to beat you. That's who St. Joe's is.
So I haven't really talked about this publicly since it happened. But since we're on this subject, I'm going to bring it up now. What happened in that firing, it was not Hawk family who did this.
Thank you. That's all I'm saying.
It wasn't Hawk family.
I didn't say it, people, but I'm saying it on my show.
A Hawk is saying it. We had a new president there 3 years.
Yes.
The new AD.
There are a few months.
Don DeJulia was not there.
They have gone in a totally different direction. We painted the floor because we don't like the way the old floor looked. We got new uniforms. They have new tutors tutoring the kids. So they teaching new math, new everything up there. They have a new strength conditioner. We lifting weights differently. Everything's different. They don't want to embrace what it means to be St. Joe's historically. And I don't know how this is going to play out in 3, 4, 5 years. Mm-hmm. But last night we saw what it resulted in when Temple said, we're going to have an orderly transition. Man, I know Dunphy very well. He's a friend of mine.
It was orderly.
I don't think he wanted to get removed as the coach.
Right.
But because of the way they did it, the way they treated him, and they allowed him to have some input with the way things were going to be after did they lose any players? Did anybody transfer out of Temple?
Not that I know of.
Did anybody stay at St. Joe's?
Kids stayed, yeah.
Couple stayed.
But Dale, the way it was handled was wrong, and nobody who was there before this regime came in would have let it happen like that. Because to preserve some of the things you're talking about, it would have been handled a lot differently. Phil Martelli did great things for the university, great, unimaginable things probably before he came into the job. And the way it was handled was wrong, and we are seeing some of the repercussions from that move and the way they handled it.
Well, that's from a St. Joe's alum, St. Joe's ball player, my man Eric Woods. I appreciate your input on that.
Yes, this is the ghetto. Showing up now.